Okay, so I'm I'd say about 95% done with my executor screen for controlling Resolume and the LED pixel strip ceiling that I designed for the club install. So the reason I say 95% done is because you're never 100% done. You can pre-plan this stuff and pre-program everything as much as you want, but until you install it and start testing it out, and until the club starts using the system, you really aren't complete because there's always going to be something you either forgot or something you need to tweak or something you need to add for functionality. So anyway, this is going to be a short. It's not a tutorial. I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to explain how the executor screen works to control the system. So if you saw the last video, if not, you can watch it and see what the heck's going on here. But I'm going to pull up the visualizer just so we have a little bit of reference. And the other, in the other screen, this is going to be the output monitor of Resolume. Now, if you're DJing at the club, so the thing about this system is that it's not going to be run by an LD or an operator, lighting operator. It's basically going to be on autopilot, and it's going to be controlled by the DJ. So at the DJ booth is going to be a screen that looks like this. Not like that. Let me pull it over. It's going to look like this. So let me clear some of this out so you can see what the heck's going on here. This is what the screen is going to look like. It's going to be a touch screen. This is all that the DJ will see. They won't have access to anything else. They're not going to have access to the back end of the system. And this is all they need to control the entire LED system. Now, I'm running on Magic Q demo mode right now, so I can't actually, like, when you're in full screen, it doesn't actually work in demo mode, but, once it's unlocked, and I'm just programming in the demo. So as soon as we click it, it obviously goes back to the actual executor screen. Okay, so let me just show you how this works. It's pretty simple. Where's Magic Q? Okay, and we're going to shrink this a little bit so we can see all this, and then pull up the visualizer. Jesus. Okay, so once you shrink it, it looks a little funky, but no big deal. I just want you to be able to see the output monitor of the LED strips. This is going to show what's playing on the LED strips, and then the visualizer is going to show what is being played on, or the movers that we have. So this is an LED strip ceiling with movers and with strobes. So it's pretty simple. If you're having a night where there's no DJ and you just want a slow ceiling movement, you can just hit the slow open 1, and that's going to give you that. And I have slow open 2. Now, obviously, I'll program others in, right? So those will just give you 2 LED screens or LED ceiling options for when there's nothing going on. They're not sound activated. If you wanted it sound activated, you'd hit the sound active on mode. But most likely that's not going to happen until the DJ comes on. Also, if you would like to specify the overall color, if this is not the color you want, let's say you're doing a night where you want everything to be blue, you can just hit the blue button here, and that activates blue. The on-off buttons that I'm using, they will be full color of the color you have selected and just outline color of the other colors. So blue, you can go green, you can go any of these colors, whatever. And they'll toggle between them. So, once you hit one, the others turn off, right? And then if you don't want to be using the color anymore, you just hit stop color, and it goes back to the base color of the program. So that's the basic slow open. If you hit stop all, it just shuts it off. Everything stops. Okay, so now let's just say it's DJ time. You'd obviously want to turn on your sound so it's sound activated to the sound of the club. And then you just hit launch LED. Now, this will cycle through a ton of different geometric shapes, presets, colors, all of that stuff. It's pretty simple. This is full color right now, so any color data that's in the programs will show up on the screen. But same like I showed you before, if you, let's pick, well, it doesn't matter what we pick. If there's something running and you want it to be synced to a color theme, you can just hit any of the colors here and they will go to it. It's running really fast right now because it's kind of jumping with my voice, but yeah. So these are the color correct, or the color choices you have. I obviously can add more, but whatever. So that's going to trigger your LED screen. You just hit stop color, it goes back to the baseline color. Now what this section here is this is going to control the movers. There's only 4 movers right now, but you know, we can go up, the sky's the limit. If you turn your movers on, and you'll see them here. I probably should scroll in so you can see it a little better. Let's see. Yeah. So these are your 4 movers. You basically turn them on. They're rogues. They're rogue R1s, I think I'm using. And then all these with the eye in this section here, they're all chases, intensity chases. So if you hit them, they'll move and they'll start chasing. Pretty simple. Just to give different chases for different variety as the night goes on. We got 6 of them in there. That's like a flash one. And then you have your colors. You know, you can choose your colors of what you want for your movers. And then these are movement patterns. So they'll just move through different motions. We have different center down. We have center in, whatever, circles. You know, they're just movers moving. It's pretty simple. And then if you want to sync your color up with the LED screen, if you hit this over here, this will do that. So you can see these are blue now. This is all blue. We'll go lighter blue so you can see. So this will allow you to sync up the colors of the movers with the colors of the LED screens. If you hit beam, it's obviously a beam, which is what they're set at now. If you hit wash, it goes to wash. Which is pretty good if you just want to wash the floor. They're not really the best with moving, but you can see how the washes work. If we just hit 100, you can see the percentages there. So you go beam, you can go wash, you can choose either one. And then the next section down here is going to be your blinders. If you have blinder hold, it just holds the blinders on. You have a slow strobe, a medium strobe, and a fast strobe. If you click it again, it just shuts off any of them. And then this is a flash button, which means if you hold it, they'll strobe, and then when you release it, it'll stop strobing. So you can add those into the show. Don't worry about these here. This actually is more for fine-tuning some of the programming on the Resolume, which has, you know, different layers to be triggered and layered in. And that's basically it. So that's then there's the preload button. So let's say you want to, you know, there's a build-up coming in the song, and you can hit preload, and now anything you hit won't make a change until you click the preload off. So let's say we want red on this. We're going to go red here. We want a fast strobe, and we want to go to that movement pattern, right? So now when we hit preload, when we click the preload off, it's going to engage all those things that we preloaded into it. So that's a cool way to deal with build-ups and making scene transitions. But that's basically it. And then if you don't like the movement, the bump it's happening from the sound activation, you can obviously turn off the sound activation, and then it's just going to go through its regular patterns. And that's all you need to do. And then at the end of the night, you can just hit stop all. It shuts them off. You can hit the rogue off, and you can hit movers off. And that'll basically stop everything. So that's what the screen is going to look like. You don't have to worry about anything on the back end at all, ever. And this is all you're going to have to deal with. And so that's my basic programming for the LED ceiling and mover combo with some strobes to install in a club that isn't going to have an LD on staff every night. And then, you know, if there is an LD on staff, they can go through Chamsys and Resolume and do more intricate stuff. But this is going to give you enough control where the ceiling and the movers are going to create a nice little dance floor for you. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. You know, like and subscribe, all that stuff. But I'm hoping to install this in, well, I proposed it to like 3 clubs so far that are looking for an added LED ceiling in a smaller portion of their club. So we'll see if that works for them. And once it's in, I'll make a video showing you how the install went. Anyway, that's about all I have. Have a good night.